am making 2 ingredient fudge. I have my microwave safe bowl, my chocolate chips, and my sweetened condensed milk. All right, we're gonna microwave this in 30-second increments until it's melted. Okay, you want to stir in between each time so your chips or your milk doesn't burn. Then if it's not getting melted just from the heat on your bowl, which mine's pretty warm, then you could stick it back in your microwave for another 20 or 30 seconds until it's melted. Mine's pretty warm, so I think it might all get melted here. Oh my goodness, yum. All right, now I've got my pan with a half a piece of parchment paper, and we're going to pour the fudge in. Like so. Just get it all nice and smooth, evened out. All right, we're gonna put this in the refrigerator and let it set up for just a couple of hours. All right, I got my fudge here. Now, I didn't put parchment both ways, so if you don't, you may have to loosen one edge, which I've already done. Just lift it out. Now, this is a 9x9 pan, so my fudge is slightly thinner. You can make a double batch if you want the thicker fudge. But you don't have to if you don't want to. You can just figure out what size fudge you like. Oh, yum. All right, there we go. Perfect chocolate fudge, just 2 ingredients. I just wanted to clarify real quick before I get on with the rest of the fudge recipes. The base recipe is 2 ingredients, okay? So the base recipe is either chips and sweetened condensed milk, which is on page 315 in my Dining on a Dime cookbook, volume 2, or chips and frosting, which is not in my Dining on a Dime cookbook. It is on my website though, or chips and Cool Whip, okay? So all these recipes have a 2 ingredient base and then all of your optional add-ins. So I just want to clarify that before I get on with all of the other fudge recipes. I have made over 75 fudges, and I just realized I have never made just nut fudge. So I'm making an almond nut fudge, and I'm going to take my chocolate chips. Oh dear. Okay, I hope my chocolate doesn't seize, because I just noticed a little, maybe a half a teaspoon of water in the bottom of my bowl. So let's hope my chocolate doesn't seize up on me. And if it does, I'm just going to show you what happens when water gets in your chocolate, okay? All right, so I've got my sweetened condensed milk and my chocolate in my bowl, and I'm going to microwave every 30 seconds. Now, what I am going to do is I am going to mix so the milk gets down to the bottom, so maybe that bit of moisture won't cause a meltdown on my fudge. All right, here we go. Gonna microwave this, see what happens. All right, while that's microwaving, I'm going to take my parchment. I'm gonna get this stirred around. Oh, hot dog. Okay, so because I put the sweetened condensed milk in there, it kept my chocolate from seizing, so that is absolutely wonderful. I'm so excited. Okay, so now we're gonna get nice creamy fudge. Now, I think what I'm gonna do is chop these in like half, because they're a little large. So I don't want them totally ground, so I'm not gonna use my nut grinder because I don't want them totally ground, but I am gonna do a rough chop. All right, so now I've got my almonds and my fudge. Yeah, if you want to make it like an almond joy fudge, you could sprinkle some coconut in there if you want. If you don't like the other way I made almond joy fudge with the layers. Okay, so then I'm going to put an almond. Let's see, so hopefully every piece will have an almond, maybe? Let's see, we'll do, yeah, that'll probably work. Okay, oops, wrong direction. Okay, so for this pan, I'm doing 5 and 5 because this is the smaller 7-inch pan. For 8 by 8, I would do 6 by 6. All right, I'm gonna let that get in the refrigerator and set up, and then we'll come back and cut it. Make sure all of your almonds are pushed in. This video is brought to you by our Dining on a Dime cookbook. We have quick and easy recipes your family will love to help you get in and out of the kitchen fast. Please visit us at livingonadime.com. All right, I have my almond fudge here, and it is set up. And it looks good. Okay, so I'm gonna cut in between the almonds so that I have an almond decoration on each piece of fudge. And this is my smaller pan, so I did 5 rows of 5 instead of 6. Okay. All right, let's see. Here, this one doesn't look too pretty. There's my almond fudge. I'm sorry. You gotta love 3 ingredients fudge. It is so delicious. Yum. All right, let me show you how to freeze this for Christmas if you want to make it ahead of time. I don't know why I'm setting those aside. Okay, so what I do is I put that on. Then what I do is take clean but used parchment paper, or you could use saran wrap, freezer paper, wax paper, any and all of the above, and stick them on, and then fold over. And then I just slide it in. And there we go. Just put it in the freezer. You can make this up to 3 to 4 months before Christmas if you need to.
This has got to be the best 2-ingredient fudge I've ever had.
It's the only 2-ingredient fudge you've ever had.
Well, that is true. But, you know, we don't have to tell anyone about that. No.
To take my chocolate chips, my sweetened condensed milk, and my chocolate in my bowl, and I'm going to microwave every 30 seconds. All right, I got distracted, so I hope I didn't burn my chocolate. All right, let me see if I can get this. Okay, I don't think I did. Close save. Or I mean, close call. I saved it. Now, my bowl is still pretty hot and I have a few chunks left. So I'm gonna let this finish melting for just a second. Okay, so got my chocolate there. And my walnuts I have here. Okay, I'm gonna stir in my walnuts. Now this is a half a cup of walnuts. I would probably do a full cup. So I like a lot of nuts in my stuff. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm putting like 3/4 of a cup in my fudge base. Okay. Pouring that in. Now, since this is a 9x9 pan, these are going to be thinner pieces of fudge. If you want thicker pieces of fudge, you can use a loaf pan or a 7x7 or 6x6 pan, whatever size you want. It's totally up to you. There is no right or wrong way to make this. I mean, really, this is no-fail fudge. You cannot. If you fail on this fudge, well, might not be a lot of hope. So it's pretty no nonsense. Okay, these were mostly crumbled walnuts, but that's okay. I will try to distribute them a little bit further apart here. All right, I'm going to put this in. Make sure you push all your walnuts in. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator, let it set up, and then we will come back and cut it. All right. Okay, got my walnut fudge here. Now this one's set up because it's thinner, it's set up quicker. Oops, I didn't do that right. Slice off all the ugly ends. Okay, there we go here. Here. And push that piece in. Okay, so now if you want to give these for gifts, you could give them in little logs like this or sell them at the craft shows. Just talking to my friend about selling these at the craft show. You could sell this easily for $3. $6 worth of ingredients, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times 3, easily $30 right there. Okay, there we go. And we have our walnut fudge. Oh, yum. How to freeze this is take your plate and put a layer on the bottom, just like so. Then I just use my used parchment paper liner, and then I don't have to use another parchment. And just put the next layer on like so, and then just fold your parchment over, and that's good enough. And then slide it into your freezer bag and stick it in your freezer. Cheese fudge, adding my white chocolate chips or almond bark or baking bars, whatever white chocolate you have or want. Easter bunnies, white chocolate Easter bunnies left over from Easter would also work. Okay. 32 ounces of chocolate, white chocolate, and 1 8-ounce brick of cream cheese, and we're gonna melt this. All right, while that is melting in the microwave, I've got some cherries here. Now you could use nuts, cherries, whatever you want, but I've got some cherries that are the maraschino cherries, and I'm drying those off so that they aren't so moist in my fudge. All right, I'm stirring my cream cheese and my chips every 30 seconds or so, 30, 45 seconds, so they don't burn. You just want it as dry as possible, otherwise your fudge can kind of get too moist and not stick together. You can also use candied cherries, walnuts, almonds, pecans, pistachios, whatever flavor you want. Oh, wow. That smells delicious. Now, you do not have to add this, but I like a cheesecakey flavor. So I'm gonna add just a tiny bit, about a half a teaspoon of lemon extract because I like a cheesecake. I like everything that tastes like cheesecake, and adding that little bit of lemon gives it that taste. All right, now I'm going to dump about 3/4 of these cherries in there. Leave a few to decorate the top. Get this all mixed in. Ooh, that looks festive. This is an easy 3 or 4 ingredient fudge, just depending on what add-ins you do. Okay, now we're gonna let this set up, and then we're gonna come back and cut it. Cherry cream cheese fudge. Oh my, or cherry cheesecake fudge, I should say. Okay, this is a test recipe. So Mike is standing here getting ready to test it. He doesn't know it. But we shall see if it is living on a dime worthy. Or excuse me, super easy recipes worthy. Wrong channel.
Is it a super easy recipe?
Yes, it is. But I may have messed it up.
So it's not as easy as you thought.
No, and I just cut it all wrong too. Shoot. Did not mean to do that.
Well, if you cut it about, each piece about in thirds, then it would be a 100-calorie recipe.
There you go. Cherry cheesecake fudge.
Ooh, it looks like cheese.
Cherry cream cheese fudge. I don't know what to call this one.
Smells like cheesecake.
Does it? Does it taste like cheesecake?
Mmm.
Is it good?
Mm-hmm.
Caramel latte fudge. I'm making a double batch. So we're gonna warm up our chocolate chips first. All right, got my chocolate chips started. Gonna add my caramel latte frosting. So now we're going to go ahead and melt this. All right, let's see how much this is getting melted. You don't want to overheat your fudges, because if you do, then your chocolate can seize, and so that's why I go in 30-second increments and just really mix it in between to make sure. Okay, that's looking pretty good. All right, so now we've got our caramel bits here, and we're gonna put about 3/4 of them in the fudge, and then we're gonna leave the rest for the top, maybe a few more for the top. All right, we're gonna mix that in. So this is kind of swirling the caramels. The caramels are kind of slightly melting in here. That's pretty cool. You could probably also do a jar of caramel ice cream topping and put that in here and swirl it around. Okay, so we're gonna push all of our caramel bits into the fudge. Let this set up and then we'll cut it. There you go. The fudge I am making is chocolate cream cheese. Now I have my parchment paper in, cutting my parchment paper in half. These parchment paper sheets are the best invention ever. I will leave a link in the description below. They just make it so easy. So for the chocolate cream cheese, I have semi-sweet chocolate chips. You could use milk chips, dark chips, semi-sweet, whatever you want, whatever flavor you like. They all have a different flavor, okay? You can also use different brands. Hershey's tastes different than Nestle's and Ghirardelli versus Walmart. We like the Walmart and the Hershey's the best, but I don't happen to have any Hershey's, so I'm gonna use Hershey's frosting. Get this warmed up and melted. All right, my chips have started to melt, so I'm going to add my can of frosting. I'm using Hershey's because we really like Hershey's for our chocolate. I think it's the best. They make the best cocoa. Mike and I tested that on my other channel, Living on a Dime. We did a Hershey's test, and that was, we did a cocoa baking test, and Hershey's was the best. All right. Oh, yum. Oh, wow, that looks so good. Now, if you use the Walmart brand chocolate chips, the mini ones melt quicker. So that's why I get the mini ones, just because they melt quicker. I'm gonna pour this first layer in my pan for my chocolate cheesecake fudge recipe. Okay, so now, because I want my two colors to be distinct for my chocolate cheesecake fudge recipe, I am going to wash out my bowl, and then I will be right back and melt the next batch. All right, I'm back now for my white chips. All right, my fudge is getting, or my white chocolate chips are getting melted. I'm going to add my cream cheese frosting. If you guys are liking my fudge recipes, could you please subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and share. I want to have world domination in the fudge recipe niche on YouTube. When you type in fudge recipes, I want to be the one that comes up in the top searches, but I can't do it by myself. I need you guys' help to do that. All right, now I can feel the side of the bowl is pretty warm, so I'm gonna bring my fudge up and let the residual heat kind of melt that fudge so that I don't burn my chocolate by getting it too hot. And this way it'll melt still, but it won't burn. I don't know, comment guys, do you think I can have world domination in the fudge recipe market? In the fudge recipe video realm? I think I can. I'm being tired of the train. I think I can. All right, now all my fudge, all my white cream cheese fudge is all together. So I'm gonna spread it in my bowl here, or my pan. Now, to make this look like a chocolate cream cheese, I'm gonna swirl the chocolate and the cream cheese layers. Just go clear down to the bottom. Don't rip your paper. Just gently bring it up and over and just let it kind of fall back into place. Oh, that's looking so delicious. Make sure you get in the middle too. Oh, yum. Oh, yum. That way when you have it, or when you cut it, you have pretty swirls. Okay, so now we're going to shake it so that my swirls don't get messed up. Aha! Oh, it doesn't look good. Oh, that looks so delicious. Okay, chocolate cream cheese. We're going to let this set up in a cool spot, the refrigerator, the garage if you live in a cold climate, outside if you live in a cold climate and you're out of refrigerator room, however you want to do that, but let this get cool and then we'll cut it. Okay, I've got my chocolate cheesecake fudge. I'm going to break the seal on the sides here. Oh my goodness, that looks so good. Oh, I cannot wait to taste that. That looks so good. So here's a little trick. If your candy has smudged like that, you can take a knife and just riddle across the edge. And that will clean it up. That one is chocolate cheesecake.
Ooh, cheesecake, huh? Mmm. That's really good. Oh man, that's really good.
Oh no, a delayed reaction. Okay, let me see. Okay. I love cheesecake. Cheesecake is my thing. Oh, yes, I see the delay there.
Yeah, it comes at you afterwards.
But it's very delicious. Okay, that's chocolate cheesecake, yep. You want different variations of fudge. And base it off our variations on page 315 in our Dining on a Dime Cookbook Volume 2. You have all the variations here that you can get some more ideas for your fudge. Making chocolate mint fudge. Now I'm making a double batch. This is based off of our 2-ingredient fudge. So first I'm going to soften my white chocolate for about 45 seconds. All right, I have my white chocolate starting to get softened. So now I'm going to add my vanilla frosting. Now I'm going to go melt this. Now for this recipe, if you want to use the green candy wafers, you could use those instead of white chocolate chips. I only have one package left and I need these for another recipe. So you can use these instead of adding food coloring. Okay, so now I'm gonna add my peppermint flavoring. It's about a teaspoon. And you want peppermint extract, not peppermint flavoring. Sorry, I misspoke. Peppermint flavoring does not taste the same as peppermint extract, or mint flavoring does not taste the same either. I'm gonna actually put the chocolate on the bottom first, and then my white and my grain. So I'm gonna make my chocolate up next. So I'm going to add, you can use chocolate. I have dark chocolate fudge, dark chocolate fudge frosting, but you could use any flavor of chocolate you want. So I did these in the wrong order, guys. You should have done the chocolate first and then the white, but that's okay. It's just the story of my life, so I just go with it. Okay, and I'm gonna melt this for about 30 seconds. Perfect. Peppermint extract. Now that one I put about a half a teaspoon in. Baking chips, okay? So I'm gonna add those to my chocolate. Now my second layer, and I wanna swirl this. So I'm gonna put a little bit of white, and then the rest I'm gonna tint green. I want to swirl this top if I can. We'll see how well this works. Then I'm going to sprinkle a few more chips on top. Then I'm going to press them all in there. Okay, now we're going to let this set up and then we will cut it. Here is the chocolate mint fudge. Oh my goodness, that looks delicious. Here we go. Oh my goodness, wow. I am making chocolate orange fudge. A bag of chocolate chips. We're gonna melt these together. Perfect. 1 teaspoon of orange extract. Got my prepared pan here, parchment paper, or you can grease it, either way. If you don't have a microwave, you can put a pan of water on your stove, put a metal bowl on top and melt your chocolate and sweetened condensed milk in that. It's called a double boiler. All right, we're gonna spread out our first layer. We're taking 1 package of white baking chips and sweetened condensed milk. We're gonna melt these together. And we're gonna stir every 30 seconds also. When you microwave, you have to stir every 30 seconds or your chocolates can burn. Oh, that looks great. Okay, so now we're gonna add some yellow food coloring and a little bit of red food coloring. And hopefully we'll get orange. Think back to kindergarten, guys. Oh, that looks good. I think we got orange. Okay, and now we're gonna add a teaspoon of orange extract. And we're gonna put our orange layer on top. Then we're gonna swirl our chocolate and our orange. We're gonna let this set up in a cool spot like your refrigerator. Then we're gonna come back and cut it. All right, I would probably, for the orange with the white chocolate, I would either add less condensed milk or more white chocolate chips, like an extra bag of white chocolate chips, because it is pretty soft. But we can make it work. Oh wow, that looks delicious. Making my 2-ingredient frosting fudge. Okay, we've got our frosting here. Always leave your cans for putting your dirty spoons in. Okay, then we want 11 to 12 ounces of white chocolate chips or white candy melts. I've got these, I'm just using them up. And we're gonna put this in the microwave and melt it. All right, while that's melting, we have some freeze-dried strawberries. We're gonna open it up to let some of the air out, and then we're gonna smash it. Get them all good and smushed. Yes, you can put these in a food processor, but I don't want to clean the food processor for just, a few strawberries. Ooh. This is great because you don't need a mixer, you don't need anything. Just a microwave and a spoon. Okay, now we're gonna stir this until it gets melted. Okay, this is pretty warm, so I'm gonna let just the residual heat finish melting. While that's happening, I've got my parchment paper with my 8 or 9-inch pan there, whichever size you got, doesn't matter. If all your chocolate doesn't get melted, you can go zap it for another 20 seconds, but I think mine's gonna be melted here. Layer is nice and smooth. Now we're gonna take some of about half of our dried cherries. We're gonna stir it in there. These are just in the dried food section at Walmart. Okay. Pour that into my pan here. Now we're gonna do the same thing with chocolate. For the chocolate, I had to microwave it twice. That's okay. All right, so now we're going to let this cool and set up. Oh my goodness, chocolate covered strawberry, yum. Remember, half if you're doing an 8 or 9 inch pan, and then a third. Oh, that looks good. German chocolate fudge. Chocolate chips, 1 package, and I'm just gonna dump this whole thing in and see how this goes. Pecans on top. And a small amount of coconut. We're gonna let this set up and then we're going to cut it. Oh, that looks really good. I am making the infamous Ghirardelli fudge. Everyone kept recommending this, so I'm gonna do this recipe. So I'm going to melt my chocolate. Let's see. Yeah, my semi-sweet chocolate. Now my store didn't have the unsweetened cocoa, 100% cocoa baking bar. So I got the 72%, so mine's gonna be a little bit sweeter, but you know, it's fudge. You can't have too much sugar with fudge. Now, got that. Now the next thing you're gonna do is add your sweetened condensed milk after the chocolate is melted. Okay, so we're gonna melt this first. Okay, my chocolate looks like it's getting melted. Okay, so we're gonna put in our sweetened condensed milk. Okay, now a teaspoon of vanilla. You could add nuts, you could add chocolate covered cherries, sprinkles, marshmallows and pecans to make or marshmallows and almonds to make Rocky Road. You could add pecans and coconut to make a, what's it called? German chocolate is what I was trying to think of. Okay, now we're just gonna let this set up. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness, that looks so delicious. Today we are making Grinch Fudge. All right. There's the white chocolate chips and our cream cheese frosting. Microwave this. Oh, I forgot my butter. Hold on. I was testing to see how hot the bowl is to see if I should do it some more. If it's too hot for you to hold, then do not microwave it again. Just let the residual heat finish melting your chocolate. Now this, I can hold it. It's got just a titch of heat. It might be enough to go ahead and get this melted or not. Okay, 20 more seconds. That is food coloring. Kind of like the swirls in that too, actually. That's pretty cool. Should I leave it swirly?
Sure.
Okay, so I'm reusing my parchment paper from another fudge that I made. Gonna leave it a little swirly. Gold dust on it. I'm gonna wake up in the middle of the night and you're gonna think that an angel took my place. Right here.
Yep.
Let's swirl this around just a little bit. And put some sprinkles. We're gonna sprinkle on top. Oh, now if that is not Grinch colors, I'm gonna tap them down so they get in the fudge and don't fall off. Haha. Okay. Now we're gonna let this harden up, and then we will cut it. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Dad, do you think it turned out?
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's great. Oh my goodness, that is great. Okay, I'm gonna take a guess and say this is going to be my most popular recipe, I'll bet. All right, comment guys and tell me if you think this is gonna be my most popular Christmas candy. 2 ingredient Hershey's Fudge. Now, I am going to double this batch. I'm going to spray my pan. Ooh. Okay, now I'm gonna add my fudge, or my frosting. Real well. Now I'm gonna go microwave this for 30 seconds. All right, that is a luscious piece of fudge. Wow. Lemon fudge, I am going to start with my white chocolate chips, getting those melted. Then I have 1 can of lemon frosting, and I'm gonna add just a little bit of extra lemon flavoring. All right, my chips are starting to get melted. Can you see that? So I'm gonna add my lemon frosting. Now, if your white chocolate chips are hot enough, you can go ahead and just stir them together, but I think I need to heat this up 30 more seconds. Pure lemon extract here. I'm just gonna do a capful, which is about a half a teaspoon, just because I like my stuff lemony. Now, if you want, you could also get some lemons and do some lemon zest in the frosting or on top if you want also. Oh, this smells so good. Oh my goodness, this smells so good. We're gonna set this up till it's firm and then we're gonna cut it. There you go. Wow, that looks delicious. 2 ingredient Oreo fudge. Now, the 2 ingredients is my frosting and my chocolate chips, but I'm going to add in some Oreos. So this is going to be 3 ingredient Oreo fudge. All right, got my chocolate chips started melting. All right, got that all stirred up. Now we're gonna stir in our Oreos. Now, I don't know how many Oreos I'm putting in here. I don't know, that was probably 10 to start with. Oh, look at how it's swirling. Oh, that's pretty darn tootin' cool. We're just going to gently fold. Oh, this is a surprise. I've never made this before and it was a surprise. Look at that. Okay, so see how it's swirling? That is cool. Okay, so now we're gonna put it in here. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. All the fudge we make. Okay, we're gonna let this set up and then we will cut it. Elf Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is start softening my white chocolate chips. Then we're gonna add our 1 can of cherry frosting. And then we're gonna go microwave this again for 30 seconds and then stir. And to make it more elf-like, let's see if we can get this redder. I don't know if we can, but we're gonna try. You don't have to, you can keep it. Oh man, that's not making it very red, is it? Red is so hard to get super, super red. Actually, what I would probably do is the melts, instead of the white chocolate, I would use the candy melts, and that would make it redder. Okay, I don't know if this is gonna be a mistake or not. Will this be a mistake? Let me think. Well, let's give it a try. So what I would do is use the red melts next time, but let's just see if we can get this Christmassy red. Out my fudge. By the way, I got this for at a garage sale for $1. There was a restaurant going out of business and I got all kinds of stuff. I got cooking spray, I got Crisco, I got muffin tin cups. I'll never need muffin cups again. I got, what else did I get? Oh man, I can't remember. I got a whole bunch of stuff. Ah, there, that's better. That is more Christmassy red. Not quite, but it's getting better. Okay, so now pour this in our pan. Oh my goodness, I love this 2-ingredient fudge. It is so delicious. All right. Now, this is just an optional step. You don't have to. These Jet Puff marshmallows are so fun. And then, let's see, what sprinkles should I use? Maybe these ones? And all those have green. So let's also use some glitter dust. Oh shoot, I should have dusted it before I put on the marshmallows. No, it's okay. We'll just add a few more marshmallows on top. Okay, and then we're just gonna pat that down. All right, we're gonna let this set up in the refrigerator. Oh, fun! That turned out so cute. I am so excited. A few more sprinkles over there. Okay, so now if you're doing this and you want the sprinkle dust, I would do it before you put on your stuff, but that's okay. All right, we're gonna put this in the fridge and let it set up.